Good morning. Stafford County Commonwealth's attorney Eric Olsen has been appointed as a special prosecutor in the town of Purcellville. If you're counting, that's the third time this year. For Tuesday, November 18th, it's your Loudoun Now Morning Minute. Thanks for being with us. I'm Rence Green. Stafford County Commonwealth's attorney Eric Olsen has been appointed as the special prosecutor in a grievance filed by Purcellville Vice Mayor Carl Ben Nett around his firing from the town police department. Nett joined the police department in 2022, then he was elected to the town council in 2024 and took office at the beginning of this year. In April, he was fired from the police department following an internal investigation by an outside law enforcement agency. He had also been placed on the Brady list, which is a list of officers whose testimony in court may be unreliable, and the prosecution is required to notify the defense. Anderson said he placed Nett on the Brady list after verifying that Nett had told the department on two separate occasions that he was unable to work because he was sick, but then attended events in his capacity as a council member. Anderson said Nett also attended a meeting in his capacity as vice mayor while on duty as a police officer. Nett filed a grievance, and the town put together a three-member grievance panel. Per standard town procedure, that three-member panel included one member nominated by Nett, one member nominated by the town manager, in this case former Mayor Kwesi Frazier, who had campaigned for Nett, and one member nominated by the other two. Since then, Nett and Frazier have been indicted by a Loudoun grand jury on felony charges of bid rigging and commercial fraud over their meetings with the town consultant on the police department. Nett also faces 4 more charges related to using a law enforcement database to look up people who were, at the time, political opponents in the race for town council. Anyway, that panel ruled Nett should be reinstated and he should get back pay and attorney's fees. By further town policy, the town manager determines whether the relief granted by the grievance panel is consistent with town policy. Frazier was determined to have a personal involvement in the case and so could not make a decision. He has also been placed on paid administrative leave since those indictments. In his absence, it falls to acting town manager Diana Hayes. She told the Commonwealth's attorney's office that she also would be recusing herself from participating in the grievance process. And last week, the town council hired a new interim town manager to replace Hayes, Tony Sabio. That was its own controversy since the minority bloc on the town council and the public didn't even know the council would be voting on a new hire that night. But anyway, he was appointed by a 4-3 vote, with Nett voting yes. According to court documents, Sabio and Nett are friends and former colleagues, which Commonwealth's attorney Bob Anderson said means there is a conflict of interest for ruling on Nett's grievance panel. And so, for all that, Anderson's filing appoints Stafford County Commonwealth's attorney Eric Olsen as special prosecutor in the case. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because this is Olsen's third appointment as special prosecutor in Purcellville on related matters. In May, he was appointed special prosecutor in the recall petition by Purcellville residents against Nett, Mayor Christopher Berteau, and council members Susan Khalil and Carol Luke. No hearings have yet been scheduled in that case. Olsen is also prosecuting the criminal charges against Nett and Frazier. Nett has said the accusations against him are false, and at a council meeting in October, he said that he is referring the matter to the FBI and asking for an investigation into the, quote, deprivation of my civil rights under color of law, end quote, by the Purcellville Police Department and the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office. Go to loudounnow.com/morningminute to check out the whole story. In other news, the Loudoun Board of Supervisors Finance Committee has signed off on plans for a new 18-mile walking trail through eastern Loudoun. The trail is known as the Signature Project, and it's part of Loudoun's Trails and Waterways Initiative, which was formerly known as the Linear Parks and Trails Initiative. The plan is to eventually connect with other trail networks to create a 40-mile loop through eastern Loudoun. It would connect from the Washington and Old Dominion Trail from Goose Creek up to the Potomac River and then follow the Broad Run back down to reconnect and make a loop. This project is still a ways down the trail, if you will. It would happen in phases with work on the first sections expected in fiscal year 2027, which begins in July of next year. Some other parts will actually require the county to apply to the Board of Supervisors, which takes a little longer. Empty Bowls raised a record $103,000 to benefit Loudoun Hunger Relief, Laws, Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Services, and Dulles South Food Pantry this year. Empty Bowls brings in local artists who donate unique, handcrafted bowls. Guests enjoy a simple meal of soup, bread, and dessert while selecting a handmade bowl to take home, a symbol of the empty bowls that remain in the community. The event sells out every year, and this year it was hosted at Stone Tower Winery. Learn more at loudounemptybowls.org. And singer-songwriter Dave Menenberg will play a special concert this Sunday at the Barns at Hamilton Station. It'll be a set of all original music with a full band in an intimate listening room setting, and it might be the last chance to see him play for a while. This is because 3 years after retiring from the school system to pursue music full-time, he's taking the next step in that journey by moving to Key West, Florida. Evidently, that's ground zero for the trop rock scene, where Menenberg is growing a reputation as a creative songwriter, engaging storyteller, and in-demand live performer. Although he lives in Loudoun, he's been splitting his time with writing and recording sessions in Nashville and gigs in the Conch Republic. As an aside, if you're not sure why I'm calling Key West the Conch Republic, just Google it. It's a great story, but telling a story out of Florida seems like straying kind of far from Loudoun County, even for this admittedly informal podcast. Last week, Menenberg recorded 4 more songs in Nashville and already has booked 80 gigs in Key West during a stay expected to last 5 months and maybe longer. We've got plenty more about his journeys and a video of his music in the story on our website, so get the full story on this and all these stories over at loudounnow.com. On today's Get Out Loudoun calendar, Lark Brewing Company is hosting Harry Potter trivia tonight. From spells and potions to professors and plot twists, put your Hogwarts knowledge to the test for prizes and bragging rights. It starts at 6:30 p.m. Check out the rest of the events calendar at getoutloudon.com. And if you like the Morning Minute, tell the folks you meet walking and biking along the W&OD Trail about the podcast and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and it'll be waiting for you there every morning. Okay. Have a great day.